Hello and welcome to this week's virtual Tish. Unfortunately, we don't have school today. Because of the weather conditions, the driving, it's a little bit taking too many chances, that we wanted to be safe and keep everyone home. However, being home doesn't mean that we don't take the time to learn, take the time to daven, and as such, also take the time to prepare properly for Shabbat. And being that this is a week we were supposed to have Tish, yes, we won't have delicious cholent, but for our 4th and 5th graders, don't worry, we'll make it up to you next time. And for everyone else, you can join us as well, as we have a chance to sing a little niggin, to have a story connected to the Parsha, and end with a song. So to begin with our niggin. La 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 la. This niggin, as I've shared with you many times, has been a niggin I've been singing for years at all the schools I've worked in, as well as when I myself was a student in multiple different countries. La 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 I'm back again. And we're going to pause there. Today I want to share with you a story. The story is of a great king, powerful beyond the lands, someone adored by all. But the king, as time went on, realized that he was getting older, and his son was going to have to be the one to take over the kingdom. Making sure to get the best teachers possible for his son, so he could have the best education, be physically fit, ready to rule a kingdom. And got excited as his son started showing so much promise. But as his son started getting a little bit older, he realized that while he had the smarts and the brain and he was able to think like a king, he wasn't quite strong enough. Wasn't being able to hold his stance, wasn't able to stand up like a king. So he got one trainer after the next, one teacher after the next. Because the one challenge that every potential king had in order to be the king, could they lead the army? And in order to lead the army, what you had to do, you had to be able to hold a shield in one hand, hold a sword in the other hand, and run for 100 feet. Not so much, but it's enough that you're able to lead the army to battle. And every time that this young man would hold the shield in the one hand, the sword in the other, he would stand strong. And within the first few steps, he would lose balance. The shield would fall to one side, the sword to the other. And this prince looked like he was not going to be able to be king. Again, teacher after teacher, trainer after trainer. Maybe they got him to 5 feet, to 10 feet, but never was able to pass that. Until suddenly, he found this one wise man in the village. And he went to this wise man and he said, please, can you help my son? The wise man said, yes, I believe I can. And the wise man sat with the son. And he said, tell me, Sir Shalom, do you think you can carry the sword and shields for the 100 feet? No way. I can't do it. I tried and I tried. I fail. Time after time again. I just can't do it. He says, no. But do you think you could do it? No, I really don't. He says, do you think you could do 5 feet? 5 feet I can do, no problem. What about 10 feet? You know what? I've even done 10 feet. He says, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold this sword and this shield, and I want you to walk 10 feet. That's it. Maybe we'll try 15, but that's all we're going to do. Do you think you could do that for me? The prince said, of course, I can do that. So the prince goes, holds the shield in the one hand, holds the sword in the other, ready for the challenge. The king watching, other people who need to be the ones to say, yes, he did it, it's true, are there present. And just as the prince is about to take his first step, the man says, wait a second. Here's what I want you to do. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a blindfold. And he puts it over the prince's eyes. And he says, all I want you to do, take one step after the next. I will tell you when you have reached 5 feet. I will tell you when you have reached 10 feet. Because today we are going to reach 10, maybe 15 feet. Prince says, we can do this. This is going to happen. Stands at the mark, holds his shield in one hand, the sword in the other, blindfold on his face. And the trainer says, this wise man says, take your first step. And he takes a step, and the man says, take your next, and keep walking. And after the prince has walked about 5 feet, the man said, great job, you're 2 feet in. The prince says, I thought I walked more, but if he's telling me 2 feet, then it must have been 2 feet. And he took more steps. He says, you're doing fantastic. You're 4 feet in. When really, at that point, he's already walked 15 feet. And the prince kept walking and kept walking. 20 feet, 25 feet, 30, 35 feet. And the guy says, you're doing fantastic. You have now done 6 feet of walking. The prince says, how have I only done 6 feet of walking, but I'm going to keep going. 50, 60, 70, 80. The prince is like, you're doing amazing. You're already at 9 feet. And as he hit 90 feet, the guy says, you just hit 10 feet. Do you think you could do another couple feet? The prince says, yeah, I can. I know I can. And as he finished up to 100 feet, the wise man walked over to him and says, I want you to uncover your eyes. And the prince takes off his blindfold. He says, now turn around. This is where you started from. This is where you ended up. In your mind, you thought you could only do 10, maybe 15 feet. But that's not what you're really capable of. You're able to do so much more. You put the barrier on yourself. You said, I can't do it, and that's why you couldn't do it. But when I blindfolded you, and you didn't know how far you went, you could have gone on for 100 more feet easily. You have it in you. You just have to let yourself be as great as you are. In this week's Parsha, there's a fascinating story. After Yaakov has this beautiful nevuah of the ladder, the sulam with Hashem, he continues on to go to meet Lavan. And as he's getting closer, he interacts with a group of shepherds. And he goes to them. And he asks them the question, Vayomer lahem Yaakov, Achai me'enatem, where are you guys from? And they said, Charan. Vayomer lahem, Hayadatem es Lavan ben Nachor, do you know who Lavan is? He said, of course we know who he is. Hashalom lo, how's he doing? Oh, they say, oh, he's doing fine, but look, this is his daughter who's coming with the sheep. Then Yaakov looks around. He says, guys, it's the middle of the day. Why are you sitting here just laying around in the fields during the day when you could be there having your sheep graze? You can be a shepherd right now. Why are you limiting yourself? They said, no, we can't. There's this big boulder on top of the well. We have to wait for all the shepherds to come so that we can roll off the boulder and be able to feed our sheep, and then we can graze them. And at that moment, Rachel is coming down with her sheep, with Lavan's sheep. Yaakov looks and he's like, she needs to get her sheep grazing. I am not going to wait around. We can't wait around. This can't happen. And he goes, and one person by himself, something that would take an entire group of shepherds, rolls the boulder off of the well. One person able to accomplish what it takes an entire group to do. Is it that the rock was so heavy that it needed all the sheep and that Yaakov was so strong? Or is it that all the shepherds convinced themselves, they told themselves, no, we can't do it alone. We need everybody to do it. It's too heavy. And Yaakov said, no, I can do it. I can do it. I'm not going to tell myself that I can't. It is unbelievable what we can accomplish when we're put to the task and when we don't set our own barriers. Last night was an unbelievable experience. It was at some points, it was scary. At some points, it was sad. At some points, it just made you so proud of what people will step up and do. The teachers who stayed in school super late, the teachers who turned to other teachers and said, you live far away. Please, I will watch your class so you can go home a little bit earlier so that you don't get stuck. To the parents who chipped in and helped out. To Elliot Rosenfeld from Jerusalem Pizza, who donated dinner to so many students who were left still at school later in the evening. To all the students who remained with a smile on their face, helping each other, making sure to be positive and know that they could do it. And the answer is, for many it took a long time, but ultimately everybody made it home safe. And it's to the achdus, the help, the support, the idea of saying, when there's a challenge, we will meet it. Yes, we can. We're not going to tell ourselves we can't. Because when we come together as one family and one team, we can accomplish anything. So as we sit here at our virtual Tish, yes, we don't have cholent, but we have the warmth, we have the excitement, and we're about to go into such a beautiful Shabbat, such a beautiful Shabbos. I'm going to play a song now, a song that all of our students know, both those in early childhood, elementary, and middle schools, that we can sing together as we prepare for Shabbat. A song that's part of the Hiratzon that almost every one of our mothers say as they're lighting Shabbat candles. So as the song plays, please sing together. Even if you're sitting alone watching the computer, or you're sitting with your family as a group. Each house, a little bit of light, adds so much to us all. In 3, 2, and 1. V'zakeini v'gadei bonim uvnei chachomim unevonim. Oy havei Hashem yirei Elokim Anshei emes zera kodesh b'Hashem v'ekim Zakeini l'gadem banim uvnei banim chachamim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And here we go. Umeyirim v'soilom, Matzirom masim toivim, Ubichol meches avodas haboirei. Umeyirim v'soilom, Matzirom masim toivim, Ubichol meches avodas haboirei. Now, this is the song we generally use in Oneg. It goes into one of my favorite songs. Lavoseinu ve'hishayamda, Lavoseinu v'lanu, shelo yechod bilvod, Amad aleinu l'chaloiseinu, Amad aleinu l'chaloiseinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matzileinu, Matzileinu miyodom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matzileinu, Matzileinu miyodom. And here we go. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, to thank our amazing team at JEC, from our faculty to our parents to our students, to even part of the outside community. You were amazing last night. You've been amazing since the beginning of this year and throughout my time with JEC. I want to wish you a beautiful Shabbat Shalom, a great Shabbos, that you should just stay safe, stay warm, and have some fun. Enjoy Shabbat Shalom. Have a great, 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 great day and a great Shabbos.